You're listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of Noise Media Network, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County and beyond. Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of you around the world listening to the sound of my voice. It's a pretty okay day here. It's kind of gloomy today in Gwinnett County, 71 degrees going up to a high of 87. Yesterday, I don't think it went above 85. I don't think yesterday. It was wet all day. It rained pretty much all day yesterday, but it's okay. I didn't have anywhere to go. I had a lot of work to do. And so that means I stayed in the house, and that's what I did. I worked. I got a lot of work every day, not just yesterday. Pretty much every day. I try to take Fridays off, but it's so crazy because I woke up this morning and added something to my calendar for Friday. Now, when I say take Fridays off, I pretty much do podcasts. Like, people interview me on Fridays. I do a lot of blogging on Fridays, stuff like that. Yesterday, I had a lot to do. I had to send out the newsletter. I had to update the website, and I still haven't updated the website completely, but that's okay. Because I always got a lot of content going on. Like, I got stuff that I want to share. And then I get so busy I forget. That's because I need to learn how to manage my time better. That's the real bottom line. Let me tell you something about being an entrepreneur. You need to have some structure, right? You need to have a schedule, right? Because here's what I found. Even though I have a schedule, like, I am dedicated to being here at 10 o'clock Monday through Thursday to do that show. That's probably the most structured thing I got going on. Because then after that, it kind of like falls off, and that's my fault. Because then I kind of get caught up. I have to go eat breakfast, which is really brunch, because by the time I get off the air, it's like 11 o'clock, so I'm eating brunch. Then I have to chit-chat with my family, because that's what we do every day. We chit-chat. We get to the kitchen, we chit-chat. And then I get fatigued because I done ate a big brunch. And then it's like, okay, I got to make myself go work. But once I get started again, I get rolling. But it's like that. It's like a little section of time from brunch to the time I get started again. That's wasted time. And that's my fault. And I'm going to get better. Because that could be time that I really use to do other stuff. The other thing that I do really well is that I get up every morning at 6:30 and I go through my whole ritual, praying, meditation, journaling, reading, all that kind of stuff. That's my morning routine. I'm supposed to be exercising in there, and I just said this morning, okay, well, you're going to get up in the morning, you're going to exercise. So here's the thing. My husband bought me a 3-wheel bike, right? And the bike has been down there probably 2 weeks now, and I'm still waiting for him to get my brakes right. And because I can't drive the bike, I can't ride the bike if the brakes are not right. All right? So that's one problem. But that's me too, because I can get up and do some aerobics. And this is shameful, y'all. Totally shameful. But I have a stationary bike in my bedroom. I know it's shameful. I know. Don't beat me too bad. It's shameful. However, give me some credit for at least trying. All right. Yep, I'm going to be joining the bowling league on Tuesday. So next Tuesday at 6 p.m. I'll be bowling. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out because, we are still social distancing. I'm not afraid to go too many places right now because I keep hand sanitizers attached to my keys. I wear a mask. I got a pocketbook full of masks. Like, in my purse, I have a pack of masks. And I told y'all, in my car, I got the N95 when I have to go to crowded places. When I'm trying to be cute, I put on my Good Morning Gwinnett logo mask. Yeah, I try to get cute sometime, y'all. I do. But I put my Good Morning Gwinnett logo mask on when I'm trying to be cute. And when I have my little purse and everything, I'm really trying to be cute. So I had to put that one on. I need to get me a new one, though. I think I want to get a purple one. And so this is going to be interesting to see how the bowling league is going to roll out since it's social distancing. So the league starts Tuesday at 6 p.m. at Stars and Strike right there on Winder and 316, right there at that intersection. I'm going to be there bowling. I used to bowl in the league, but I had surgery on my knee, so I stopped. But I bowled for like 3 years, and then I stopped bowling. But we're going to start back because my husband and I, we used to really love bowling when we bowled in the league, even though he used to get mad sometimes because I go in there and I'm just really nonchalant. And what's crazy about this is these are doubles. So we don't have 4 people on the team. But before, it was 4 of us on the team. It was me, him, his sister, and our good friend Adrian. And I started out being the captain. Everybody always wanted me to be captain. I was a captain of the league. I kept us in check. But then there were days when I just wanted to hang out with my friend Ann at the bowl because her husband bowled and she bowled on the team with him and his sister. And Adrian was his sister's husband. So it was him, his 2 sisters, and his wife. And that's my husband's best friend. She's my good friend. That's how my husband and I met in their wedding. But anyway, we would go to the bowling alley, and all I want to do is like eat French fries and play around, like just have a good time, not really thinking about, because we bowl for money. Like we're a league, so you bowl for money. My husband used to get so mad at me. He would stop talking to me and his sister, especially when we had a bad night. And so some nights, me, his sister, and we call him 80. 80 would have a bad night. He would have like the best night. He'd be mad at us for the rest of the night. He wouldn't talk to us. So now we're going to be doing double, so he can only be mad at me. But I was like, oh, yeah. So last night I'm talking to him, like, yeah, I got to get my game up. Because, he looked at me. He's like, because he know how I am. Like, I like to have fun, so we'll see. Anyway, today is National Cherry Popsicle Day, so if you like cherry popsicles, today is your day. It's also National Women's Equality Day. I had to say that one. Yeah. National Women's Equality Day and National Cherry Popsicle Day. So go out and get you a nice cherry popsicle, and remember that it's National Women's Equality Day, so watch yourself today. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get on with our horoscopes, brought to you by Noted Astrologer and Micah Thotson for today, Wednesday, y'all. It's hump day. It's Wednesday. You made it to the middle, baby. You made it to the middle. August the 26th, we're gonna kick it off like we always do, and that is with Aries. Don't overspend on luxury items right out the gate, Aries. Spend time with your lover today. Your added discipline will enable you to complete some of those unfinished projects. That's the brakes on my bike. My husband's an Aries. That's the brakes on my bike. I need those fixed so I can get out there and ride the bike. So I can stop making excuses about why I'm not riding the bike. All right. Taurus, if they don't like the plan, suggest a day and contribute a little. Yeah, like they don't like it, tell them to put some feedback in it. Don't you just hate people sitting on the sideline giving orders and suggestions? They ain't doing nothing but giving orders and suggestions. Yeah, tell them to put their hands in the pie, get a little dirty. Don't trust others with private information that could be used against you. You may blow situations out of proportion when dealing with the one you love. All right, Taurus. Yeah, don't trust others with your information. Keep your business to yourself. Just tell them to mind it, but just keep your business to yourself. If you don't want it out, don't tell nobody. That's the best way to keep a secret. Don't share it. Gemini, you may find yourself in a predicament with family members. Uncertainties regarding relatives will make situations uncomfortable if you attend a family function. You can look into new jobs that don't count on getting help from someone who may have promised you assistance. Listen, I say this all the time. If you don't want to be disappointed, don't have any expectations on anybody. I know it's kind of sad that you can't count on nobody, but if you're trying to get this job today, Gemini, don't count on anybody helping you. Just try to figure out how to get it on your own. Here's a way to get it on your own. Be confident in your skills and your abilities and your talents. That's the first thing. Confidence outshine. Let me tell you something. Confidence make you shine. You got to go into the interview with confidence. But before you get to the interview, you got to make sure that your resume is tight. You got to make sure you can pass the background check. You got to make sure that you got the proper ID and the proper experience for the job that you're going after. Don't worry about the thing they say we must have a degree. Apply for it anyway, because you never know, you may get the job just based on your experience, right? 4-year college degree versus 18 years of experience. I don't see how that makes a difference. I don't see how that even adds up. You know what I'm saying? That's just my theory. I know we got these people that live in these positions, that work in these positions, and they was like, you got to have a degree. Well, I got 25 years of experience. Do you think that outweighs a 4-year college degree in just basic knowledge that I probably don't even use at your... Yeah, right. But, who am I? What do I know? That's my husband be saying. Hey, what do I know? All right, Cancer. Family outings should include visiting friends or relatives. Partnerships with creative people could lead to a financial gain. All right. Helping children may be rewarding and challenging. All right, so listen, Cancer, you need to hang out with some creative people today because you could get some money, baby. Yes, go take a picture, paint a portrait, do something. Make some clay pots. I told y'all I took sculpting in college. Yeah, because that was a creative side that I was trying to bring. I realized I'm creative in other ways, but I used to try to bring that out with like sewing. So I tried to sew. My cousin taught me how to sew. I hated sewing. My husband bought me a pottery wheel to make pots. That didn't last very long. He bought me a really nice camera to become a photographer. That didn't last very long. I took sculpting in college. I failed it horribly. What else have I done? Oh, I tried my hand at decoupage, and I got a whole bunch of glue and plates. I did a decoupage. yeah, I couldn't really find the passion behind that. The only thing I have not done, and I keep saying I'm going to do, is take piano lessons. But I'm going to wait till my sugar booger, that's my granddaughter. I call her sugar booger, right? I know they was like, that's so ugly. I know, but that's my baby. When she gets a little bit older, where she can pay attention to the instructor, we're going to take piano lessons together. That's my plan. Then that's probably going to be the last thing I try on the very creative side, because I can't sing. I can sing to myself. Some people have told me I got a nice voice. I don't think so. So again, confidence. I don't have the confidence that I have a nice voice. Not for singing anyway. All right. Anyway, let's keep moving. Leo, observations will be far more productive. All right. Talk to others about your plans. Don't believe everything you hear. Let me tell you, it's the old saying, don't believe everything you hear and only half of what you see. My grandmother told me that old saying. So Leo, don't believe everything you hear today and only half of what you see. Yep. Virgo, get involved in a competitive sport that will bring challenges you thrive on. You may find that purchases or entertainment could be expensive. You mustn't take on other people's responsibilities, or you may find yourself irritable and exhausted. I know, especially women. Women like to we're nurturers. We want to help out. We want to take on everybody's problem. Here's the thing, Virgo. Today, if you do that, you're going to be irritable and exhausted. Trust me, I already know. I stopped doing all of that. Let me tell you something. I was a shoulder for everybody. My shoulders are broken. So now I try not to take on most people's stuff. I try not to take on, you have to empower people to handle their own responsibilities. Let me just say that. And that's what I had to do. I had to empower the people that were leaning on me so hard and so much to be responsible for themselves. And it worked out fine. Part of me was guilty, like, oh my God, I should do it. Then the other part of me said, oh my God, I'm exhausted. So I empowered them to lean on themselves, and it started to work out really well. So Virgo, that's what you need to do. Empower folks to take care of their own responsibilities so that you don't be irritable and exhausted. And on that note, I'm going to a song, and I'll be right back after the song to bring you more of the horoscopes, brought to you by Noted Astrologer, Michael Tyson.
I don't need no roses on my bed. I can pull you closer to me, babe. Ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure. Calling you up at 2 in the morning, but you don't wanna talk, you don't wanna bother. Yeah, so I take another shot, let my brain do the walking. I don't wanna be your friend, I want something real. Maybe if I stay the night, you could feel the same. And maybe if you treat me right, we could rearrange. But I'm not even gonna try if you don't wanna stay. So how's it gonna be? You got me on my knees. I don't need no roses on my bed. If I could pull you closer to me, babe. Ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure from you. Tear me apart when I know you don't want me. Cause I've been going fast and you wanna go slowly. Maybe I'm just wasting time. Tell me how you feel. I don't wanna be your friend, I want something real. Maybe if I stay the night, you could feel the same. And maybe if you treat me right, we could rearrange. But I'm not even gonna try if you don't wanna stay. So how's it gonna be? You got me on my knees. I don't need no roses on my bed. If I could pull you closer to me, babe. Ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure. I don't need no roses on my bed. If I could pull you closer to me, babe. Ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure from you.
Welcome back, welcome back. It's your girl, Audrey Bell Kearney, giving you the Daily Horoscopes brought to you by Noted Astrologer Michael Thiason. We're going to pick it up with Libra. Don't let your mate force you into making a decision that you aren't ready to make. Visitors may be likely to drop by. It might be time to do some of those chores at home. Listen, clean your house up because you know folks be dropping by. Let me tell y'all something. So we got, excuse me, we got 3 bathrooms in our house, right? And there's always one where the visitors go, but that's always the one everybody want to use, right? And I tell my daughter all the time, so listen, make sure that bathroom stay clean all the time. Because as soon as somebody come in this house, the first thing you want to do is use the bathroom. And every time I have said that to her, she was like, you are so right. I know. Mama knows best, baby. Let me tell you something. Clean that house up, Virgo, Libra. Because somebody's going to stop by today, so make sure your house is clean. That's all I'm saying. That's what Michael said. I'm just kind of reiterating what he said. Yeah, that's all. Scorpio, you can find yourself left with someone's dirty laundry. Channel your efforts into achieving your goals. You'll be able to work in the fine detail and present the best possible proposal. You can find yourself left with somebody else's dirty laundry, Scorpio. I don't know exactly what that means, but it sounds risque. It does. In the meantime, channel efforts into achieving your goals. Yeah, do that. Forget the dirty laundry. I thought about a song by Kelly Rowland, and it's called Dirty Laundry. Yeah, check it out. Go on YouTube, type in Dirty Laundry, listen to Kelly Rowland's song. Her other song that I love is called Motivation. That's one of my favorites by her. Yeah, sexy. Yeah, I wish I could play that on the show. I don't think I can get a license to play that. That would be great. Oh, maybe I need to look into getting a license to play other music. Anyway, Sagittarius, travel opportunities may be taken advantage of. Must be taken advantage of. Be cautious of making any residential changes today. New romantic partners may attend a function that puts you in the limelight. So Sagittarius, you're going to shine today and someone is going to be looking at you from afar with love in their eyes. It's that time of the season. It's almost fall, y'all. We want to be snuggled up in the fall. You know what I mean? Like, I hate summertime. It's hot. I don't need to be snuggled in the summertime. Don't want to snuggle. It's too hot. But the fall, when you're drinking, hot tea, hot cocoa, watching Hallmark Channel, you want to snuggle. Fall that's why people have all them babies. I can't wait to see how many babies are gonna be born in January though, because when the pandemic hit and everybody was shut in, I was like, ooh wee, I bet there's gonna be a lot of babies born in January. I'm just saying, we're gonna see. I want y'all to call in, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com, click on your story, hit the purple button on the right, share your story, because I know it's gonna be a bunch of babies born. Give me the baby name, how much they weighed, the birth date, so I can say happy birthday and welcome to the world. I know they're coming. I know they are. Capricorn, electrical problems may be an issue. Major moves will be emotional and not necessarily to your benefit. Okay. Don't push your luck with authority. Here's the thing, Capricorn. Don't push your luck today. You don't want to lose whatever it is that has authority over you. So don't be trying to, flex your muscle. Today is not the day. Aquarius, you will enjoy interacting with those who come from different backgrounds. You can make a huge difference to children if you are able to put yourself in their shoes. You need to get out if you want to meet potential partners. You got to get out the house. I know. But those of us who work from home, it is tough to get out the house and meet new people. I know. But you got to get from behind the computer, get from behind the microphone, get out and meet people. Here's the thing, though. COVID is still out there, so a lot of stuff is shut down. I get it. So now we got a real excuse, y'all. Like, I ain't going out there. I haven't been to a networking event yet. I'm probably going to go to Paradigm. So Paradigm Work Hub is where I had my studio at. I freaked out when my uncle passed away and then my best man passed away. So I totally freaked out and closed the studio down. Had just been open like 2 months. And like, yeah, I can't even think about going in there right now because I'm freaked out. Even though it was very clean in there. And it wasn't a whole lot of us in there co-working because it's a beautiful space and it's kind of big. So I probably would have been fine. I was just freaked out. I was freaked out for months. So, and rightly so. I just lost somebody in my family and I lost a good friend. And, my best man in my wedding almost married my best friend. Yep. They met. I was dating my husband and they started dating the same time we were dating. And I thought he wanted to marry her. but she didn't really like. She liked him. They were dating for probably about 6 months. He took on a cruise. He bought a tennis bracelet. I don't even have a tennis bracelet now that I think about it. The tennis bracelet with the diamonds. And I thought for sure he wanted to marry her. He had told us at a picnic that he was gonna marry her. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So my best friend would have married my husband's best friend. So she was my best friend since I was 14. And Bruce was my husband's best friend since they were 6. And they started dating each other, and I thought they were going to get married, but my friend didn't like him like that. She's like, yeah, he's too slow. He was a nice guy, though, but he wasn't aggressive enough for her. Even though he took on a cruise and bought a tennis bracelet, I think he bought a TV. Like, this was when flat screens first came out, them big ones. I think he had like a 50-inch big, but it had the big back on it. It wasn't flat screens like it is now. It was like big TVs. Yeah, so I thought they were going to get married. But anyway, I freaked out and closed the studio down. So I may do some co-working because I may do some networking because I know Amber over at Paradigm Work Hub in Decula is doing things. So I might just drop in on some of the stuff she's doing because I haven't done anything really. I mean, I've met up with a couple of my podcast people. We kind of hung out for a minute, but nothing major. All right, my fellow fish Pisces. You could be your own worst enemy if you overreact to something you're told. I don't know what that is. Now I gotta be on my P's and Q's today. When the work is done, they may serve you for a change. Okay. Be careful that you don't overextend yourself. Okay, fish, listen here. Be on the lookout for anything that's gonna be told to you that could cause you to overreact, right? Because that means you're gonna be your own worst enemy. So now I have to be on the lookout for that. I got to be on my P's and Q's so I don't overreact and become my own worst enemy. And I'm telling you, you might want to do the same thing, fish. That's what I'll be doing today. Yep. And don't overextend yourself today. Fall back. Relax for a minute. Ooh, that sound like that was really meant for me. I know. All right. So that's all the horoscopes I got for you today. I'll be back again tomorrow at 10 o'clock with horoscopes and a guest. Horoscope. I met this guy some years ago. It had to be 15 years ago. Might have been, what is this? It was 17 years ago. It was around 2003. It was 16, 17 years ago, around 2003, 2004. I was publishing a newspaper back then called Women in Business Today. That was my newspaper. And I met him because I was in media like I am right now. And every year I would go to the National Publicity Summit. And I got invited. So me and all the media people, all the producers from the Harper, from Oprah show, and I think Regis and everybody that was in media, there was somebody at that event, and we all were part of media. So these people had to come and they had to pitch us to be on our show, and that's when I met my guest for tomorrow. So be sure to tune in because I don't think he remembered me. But be sure to tune in and listen to the show tomorrow because I'm sure he's going to be a great guest, and I'm sure he has a lot to talk about to help you be positive about your life and help you produce, help you raise these really positive kids who are, could go on and do great things. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to some news you can use. Y'all know Hurricane Laura is she is about to wreak havoc on Texas and Louisiana. Right now she's a Category 3 over the Gulf of Mexico, and she's about to hit, y'all. Yeah. I called my friend. She just moved to Houston. So we text last night and I was like, you okay? And she said, yeah, I'm just waiting for them to give us the go ahead to evacuate. I'm like, oh my God, that is crazy. She just got there. She just moved to Houston and now she has to evacuate. I'm like, oh my goodness. So anyway, when the hurricanes come through, they just wreak havoc on places. They just tear stuff up. You know what I really want to say, but it's a family show, so I won't say that. But anyway, they just tear stuff up. And so they're saying that right now, this storm could strengthen to a Category 4 before it make landfall near Texas and the Louisiana state line today or early Thursday. It's that time of year, and I know we should be used to it by now, but I just feel so bad for all those people who have to just up and run and leave their homes. Like right now, about 1.5 million people under some type of evacuation order in parts of Texas and Louisiana. And in the Houston area. They're expecting damaging winds. Road tolls have been waived so people can get out. So I hope all y'all get to safety. Please do not sit back there and wait. That's what happened last time. You know what I mean? Don't sit around. They say go. Like I probably would have started going as soon as they started stirring up. Especially now, you working from home anyway. Pretty much everybody's working from home right now. Because it's where we are. So I probably would have packed my laptop up and been on my way. So y'all stay safe out there. All right. So listen, American Airlines said if they don't get some money, they're going to have to start furloughing about 19,000 employees as of October the 1st. It needs help. It needs more help from Congress. And here's the thing. People are still waiting to get their unemployment because there are no jobs. Now, here's American Airlines saying, listen, we might have to cut 19,000 jobs if we don't get some help. What? I don't know what they're doing. I heard they were fighting like all of July. Then they stopped fighting in August because the president signed the executive order that has not taken shape yet. Haven't heard anything about the stimulus package or the stimulus payment or whatever. People and so here's the thing: the Republicans think that this is my belief. I believe that they're taking so long to do this thing because they feel like we're gonna force people to go back to work. Here's my problem: go back to work to where? That's the issue. Like, I don't think they understand that there is really a limited number of jobs right now. People are still there. There are people who started hiring right when the pandemic hit. They had to freeze hiring, and the people that got the job could not get the job. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like right now they're trying to force people to go work somewhere. But why would you force them to go work in a place where they're not making enough money anyway to survive? I don't understand it. But anyway, American Airlines said, listen, we need some help. And if we don't get it, 19,000 more people are going to join the unemployment roll. That's crazy. It is crazy. I don't understand what's going on. You know, if we could drop billions here and billions there, what is the problem? Just put the money in the economy so people can get back on their feet. Give these employers time enough to build back up so they can start hiring people again. People can't get a job if there are no jobs. I just don't get it. I need to go be in Congress. They would hate me. They probably hate me like they hate Nancy Pelosi. Because I'd probably be worse. Because I got a little bit more energy than Nancy. I love Nancy, though. I love all of them. Listen, I like all the spitfires that are in politics. Some of them are crazy. Some of them are on the other side. And they're crazy. I still like some of them. I do. I just like them because they believe in what they believe. And they're going to fight for it tooth and nail. Even though some of that stuff is ridiculous. I'm just saying. It's ridiculous stuff on both sides. Let me just say that. Let me just put that out there right now. All right, I'm going to a song. I'll be right back after the song to give you more of the rundown of what's going on in and around Gwinnett County and beyond.
Tell me your story. Tell me what made you change your mind. How you move forward and still go against the tide. Yeah.
Welcome back. So listen, according to a story on the Gwinnett Daily Post .com, there was a task force coronavirus report that was leaked to the AJC, and it states that Georgia is number 3 in the nation for the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases. So Governor Kemp said, you know what, we're doing a great job right now. We're doing a great job. The numbers have dropped, but they're saying that we are not doing a great job, according to this report. And so right now, it looks like we have the most cases, third in the nation for the number of coronavirus cases. And they're saying that if they close down the bars, which I know that's taking away people's livelihood, again, jobs are going to go. If they close down the jobs and put in a mask mandate, this could really help out with the spread of the virus in Georgia. But Governor Kemp said he's not going to do that. He's not going to close bars. He's not going to make masks mandatory. He's not going to do that, and that the numbers are declining. And so we'll see. You know, to read the full story, go to GwinnettDailyPost.com. You can read the full story there. We'll see. I can't even get into it no more. Just wear your mask. That's all I can say. It's becoming so crazy to the point where it's like, okay, for real? Like, we're still having this conversation, but we are. And my instinct tells me we're going to be having it for a very long time because they don't seem to be able to find a vaccine. I'm not even trying to go into that either. Anyway, so even though the Mitsubishi Electric Classic had to be canceled, which was scheduled for April, that did not stop the organization from making charitable donations. Yep, that's right. So officials for the Gwinnett-based tournament announced yesterday a donation totaling $247,153 to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, Special Needs School of Gwinnett, and other local charities. Since the inception in 2013, the Mitsubishi Electric Classic has donated a total of $2,594,159 in support of charitable organizations in Gwinnett County and the greater metro Atlanta area. So even though that their tournament got canceled, which was scheduled for April 13th through the 19th, they still find the money to support these charities who are doing good work in our community. So for that, we're going to give them a round of applause because they could have just stopped right there and blamed it on COVID-19, but they did not. The tournament is normally held annually at TPC Sugarloaf in Duluth, and it was scheduled for this year, but it had to be canceled because COVID has also, stopped that. Now think about that, y'all. When those golf tournaments come around, there are a lot of people involved. You got the caddies, you got the people that do the holes, you got the lawn keepers, the landscapers, you got the people that run the restaurants, the inside of the golf clubs. All of those people, no jobs. Think about that. All of the people that get involved, no jobs. You got the reporters, no jobs. You got the sports writers, the sports editors, all just flatlined. It's just a lot, y'all. But that didn't stop them. They said, you know what? This show must go on whether our show go on or not. So kudos to you guys for doing that. All right, so, some parents were having a fit about their kids not going to school. We had parents protesting here in Gwinnett County about the kids going to school and the teachers going into the classroom. They didn't want to. Then we had the other set of people who were protesting about their kids not going to school and that they needed to be in school. And we saw what happened up in Cherokee County. There were so many students who went to school. I think it was about almost 2,000 people who had to go home and be quarantined. I have no idea how this is going to work, but I'm sure it'll pop up in the news, and I'll be sharing it with you guys right here on the show because today is the first day they started letting kids go back to the classroom. Not all of the kids are in the classroom. A small group of Gwinnett County Public School students will return to the classroom today. They returned today. The district faced a return plan, which is about half of its roughly 180,000 students have opted into to begin classes today. With kindergartners as well as first graders, 6th and 9th. Special education and self-contained classrooms will also return regardless of the grade level. Now, all grades will be phased in by September 9th for students whose parents opted in for in-classroom learning. So some parents have still, so now I'm wondering, so if you opted in for in-classroom learning, so you're going to have a teacher in the classroom, I'm assuming. But if you opted out, is that same teacher going to be teaching virtually and in the classroom, or is it two separate teachers? Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see how that's going to work out, because somebody's going to get left out. If the teacher has to do in-classroom instruction and she got kids in front of her, and then you got virtual kids, how are they going to set that up? I'm interested to see how that's going to roll out. But yeah, there were some parents who felt like, especially parents with special needs children, they felt like if their kids weren't in classroom getting hands-on instruction, they were going to really, really fall behind because they already had special needs. And so even though some families hired at-home aides to assist the needs and with learning virtually, that's rough. Like, I know let me tell you something. If you've never taken a virtual class, take one. You talking about every day for 6 to 8 hours? That's a lot of time to sit in front of a computer. Trust me, I know. I do it every day. But now you're talking about little kids who have short attention spans. Heck, grown folks got short attention spans. So they gotta watch the computer, not be distracted by what's going on in their house, which is tough. Trust me. That's why I lock myself in my office so I can get work done. So I'm not distracted by what's going on in my house. Right? When I was at the studio, it was perfect because I had a private studio. I would go in there, do the show every morning, and then I would do work, which was great. I have a private office in my house, but people don't mind knocking on the door, and they still distract me. So I can't even imagine what that may be like for children who don't have that much of attention span. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. I understand though. And then there are some parents who say, I'm not sending my kid to school. They're gonna learn virtually. I think that parents probably gonna have to put in a little more time with their kids, because I feel like this is gonna be a challenge. But it's gonna be interesting to see how this whole thing roll out with the in classroom instruction, virtual instruction, and how they're doing it at the same time. Right? So right now they said the school district spokesman said that they have put in new safety measures. Anyone on school property will be required to wear a mask. That's another thing. I hate the mask, but I wear it, but I hate them. Hand sanitizer will be made readily available. Desks and tables will be arranged to allow for social distancing as much as possible. In addition, lunch and recess will be staggered to reduce the amount of children congregating. So they're putting some things in place. I just hope it works. And right now, remember, they're only going to be running at half capacity. So they got about 2 weeks to see how well it's working before they go back to full capacity, which is scheduled for September 9th. So we'll see how that works. I pray that it works out well. I pray that the children are safe. And when they go home, that they don't take anything home. I just do. I pray for that. Now, here's some big news, y'all. This is some big news right here. And this is a long story. You're going to have to go read the whole story on Gwinnett Daily Post, but I'm going to give you the gist of it. So, Gwinnett County officials are planning a major medical, environmental, and agricultural mixed-use research park in Tequila and Auburn area that is expected to rival Research Triangle and Raleigh-Durham area of North Carolina and Tech Square in Atlanta. I'm excited about that because we need industry out here in Gwinnett County. When I lived in North Carolina, my husband works in pharmaceutical. And when we originally moved to North Carolina, we thought he was going to be working in Research Triangle, but he was working at Sandoz, which is in Wilson, North Carolina. But Research Triangle is huge. It's out by the airport, and they do all type of things. They're medical, all kind of anything that's innovative in medicine and health and all that, healthcare and all that kind of stuff. It's out there in Research Triangle in Raleigh-Durham. We're going to have our own Research Triangle right here in Gwinnett, and that's exciting. Now, here's the really exciting part about that. Now, this is going to be a long process, but over the term of that process, that's going to add about 100,000 new jobs. 100,000. Now, that being said, if it's going to add that many jobs, it's going to add that much traffic. So although it's very cool that it's going to be here, we're going to have a lot of traffic on 316, which I will not travel. I won't do it. But that's a good thing because Gwinnett needs industry. And I think that having a research park out here in this area to provide services that are innovative and on the cutting edge, I think that's a great thing. Now, here's what I want to say to all the people listening to this show. Here's an opportunity right now for you to find out how you can qualify to get a job when they start hiring, when they start creating these jobs. Now, granted, 100,000 jobs is not going to be created overnight. This is a process. This is going to take a while. This is about a 15-year process, but it may be 1,000. It may be 2,000. You need to make sure that you have the right skills necessary to fit into that position. Now, that being said, go to researchtriangle.com Research Triangle Park, and on the website, just type it in Google, Research Triangle, Raleigh Durham. See what type of companies are located inside Research Triangle. And that should give you some idea of some of the type of companies that may be located inside of our research park, right? So because you want to make sure. Me personally, if I was in this space, I would be going to voice activated smart technology, because that's where I'm going. That's what listen. Alexa is gonna be my friend. She's already my friend. I'm already telling people how to put their podcast on Alexa. I'm gonna be speaking at the at Brand Tech for the Atlanta Black Chamber in October, talking about how to use Alexa and voice marketing to grow your business. I'm gonna be talking about that. That's important because we need to know how to leverage this. So if I were you and you're listening to the sound of my voice, learn about smart technology like Alexa, voice technology. Voice technology has not even scratched the surface, but I can tell you this, in my research so far, the healthcare industries are sucking it up. And if you want to know more about that, go to Amazon.com, type in voice technology, and you'll see all of the case studies where healthcare companies are sucking up voice technology. Now, if this research park is going to be located in Gwinnett County, you need to have job skills to match what they're looking for. Get the training. You have some time. It may take 3 years for this to get off the ground, but that's time for you to go and get the necessary training. It's going to be innovation. It's going to be technology. It's probably going to be biomedicine, all of that stuff. If you want to get into that stuff, start learning now. They just made the decision to approve this, so you got some time, right? You got some time. So go ahead, learn what you got to learn right now. You got some time. But here's the thing. It's not going to wait on you. You got to get started right now. To read the full story about this new research park that's coming to Gwinnett County on the 316 corridor, it's going to be on a 2,000 acre development known as Rowan, ROWN. And it's going to be located more than 2 miles on through 316 on the Gwinnett side and then on Barrow County. So that's why I said Auburn and Decatur. Yep. So you want to make sure that you're ready. It's coming. It's been approved. They're probably going to start breaking ground. It's going to be great for the economy. And we need We need a research triangle. Maybe we could find a vaccine for all the stuff that's going to come out. Like, trust me, I believe that this was bad, but you never know what's going to be down the pike. The corona was bad, and it still is because we haven't gotten a handle on it. But you never know what's coming next. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. All right, let's keep it moving. So the city of Lawrenceville has purchased the Villa Lodge and Suite as a part of a revitalization project. Lawrenceville City Council entered into an agreement with the city's Downtown Development Authority to purchase an extended stay hotel in the city on Monday. The city said the purchase of the Villa Lodge and Suites property, which is located at 512 West Kroger Street. Now, where is that at? 512 West Kroger Street. I don't know where that is at. I'm trying to picture that. Anyway, it is a part of its plan to revitalize the Lawrenceville Highway corridor near Central Gwinnett High School. My brother always talks about Central Gwinnett. The city is eager and excited to extend the redevelopment success we have seen in the immediate downtown area to Lawrenceville Highway corridor. Lawrenceville Mayor David Steele said in a press release. The acquisition of this property is another significant step in reaching our goal of providing a new development in the area. So they purchased that. They're going to be doing some new development there. Downtown is going to be popping, y'all. You know, we got the DTL, downtown Lawrenceville. I think that was, I don't know who thought about that, but I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, like ATL, but DTL, I was like, okay, go ahead. Which stands for Downtown Lawrenceville. They got a whole website, DTL. I was like, go ahead on DTL, y'all, do your thing. Yeah, so I think that's going to be nice. Downtown Lawrenceville is going to be popping. We got the art center coming down there. We got a hotel coming down there. I think that's going to revitalize our downtown area. I think that, I don't think it's going to be any empty spaces downtown. I looked at a space. I wanted to put Good Morning Gwinnett downtown. I was like, I want to be downtown. And I called a property manager, and they was like, yeah, it's $1,800 a month plus CAM and some other stuff she was naming. I was like, oh. And it's a tiny space. It wasn't even a big space. Probably was 700 square feet. But it was dead smack in the middle of downtown Lawrenceville. That's where I wanted to be. I was like, I want to be. Because you know what I felt like? This is what I felt like. I felt like if I was downtown and I had this show and then I could launch other shows from downtown Lawrenceville, I felt like that would be great. And that's where I wanted to be. I want to launch other shows. Like this show is a morning show, but we could launch Good Night Gwinnett. We could launch Hello Gwinnett. I mean, just, the DTL. I thought that was pretty darn cute. I ain't mad at them. But anyway, new construction coming in that area. They're going to revitalize that whole motel thing. I wonder what they're going to put there. It may be another hotel over there on that side. Yep. That's going to be nice. All right. We're going to see how that rolls out. I'm pretty cool with that. All right. So Gwinnett approves contracts to purchase vehicles and decals. Gwinnett Commissioner recently approved 2 contracts covering various public safety vehicles. In the first, the county approved $4,199,500 contract beginning September the 2nd with Atkin Ford, LLC, Family Ford, Inc., and Hardy Chevrolet Buick GMC, Inc. The contract will provide new and replacement vehicles for the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office, the solicitor's office, and the departments of police and fire emergency services. The contract represents 8.72% increase over the previous contract. So somebody's going to get some new cars. Yeah. In a separate vote, the commissioners approved $202,050 annual contract beginning August the 19th. It began August the 19th for the purchase and removal and application of vehicle decals to support the county's rebranding. Okay, branding initiative. Check out Gwinnett County building a brand. We are a brand, baby. Gwinnett is a brand. Let me tell you what I learned about Gwinnett County. When I went behind the scenes from the Gwinnett Citizens Academy 101, I learned that we're on the cutting edge of a lot of stuff, especially our water system, and that there are people who came to Gwinnett just to learn how we do our water system. So we're on the cutting edge. So with this new research park, branding our police cars, branding our towns, DTL, I love that. I love that, y'all. Branding all that stuff, I think that's amazing. So kudos to them for that. All right, I'm going to a song. I'll be right back after the song to give you more of the rundown of what's going on in and around Gwinnett County and beyond.
And if I lasted by
I can't sing. So the Gwinnett Board of Commissioners recently accepted a $100,000 grant from the Department of Natural Resources, Land, and Water Conservation Funds. And these funds are going to go to refurbish George Pierce Park, located at 55 Beautiful Highway in Swanee. They're gonna improve the amenity area near the entrance to the Greenway. They're gonna build some new buildings for bathrooms, which is good. They're gonna have a playground with accessible features. They're gonna make the park nice. Let me tell you, when I came to Georgia, and I talk about this all the time because I was amazed at how beautiful the parks were. So the fact that they are putting money into a park is no surprise to me, and I think they're just the most beautiful parks in Gwinnett County that I've ever seen anywhere I've been. And June Gwinnett Commissioners approved $2,554,084 contract with the low bidder Triscapes Inc. for park enhancements as well. So they put money into these parks, and you can see it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, man, these are the most beautiful parks I've ever seen. It's just nice to go to the park, and I think that's so cool because now that gives you the opportunity to get outside. It just does. Yeah, I'm kind of a geek, right? If y'all don't know by now, you just heard me talk about the research park. I'm kind of a geek. I am. So listen, breakthrough AI, artificial intelligence, identifies 50 new planets from old NASA data. Yeah. So we got 50 new planets out there that AI has found. Let me tell y'all something. This is why Research Park is going to be huge for Gwinnett County. I'm almost positive, and I could probably stake my paycheck on, which I don't get a paycheck. I do get money from the business. Forget all that. Anyway, I'm almost certain that AI is going to be a huge part of this new research park that we got coming in. That's why I'm telling you, learn all you can about artificial intelligence because it's going to be a major role. It's going to play a major role in a lot of stuff that's going to be going on at this new research park. So take some time. Here's what I could tell y'all, right? Google and Amazon, they do a lot of things for their platforms. Trust me, just go there and look at Google. Google has offered a lot of classes, training, workshops, all kinds of stuff to help you master the Google platform. Amazon does the same thing. And a lot of that stuff is for free. Do you hear what I'm telling you? So you just got to create some discipline so you can learn about this type of technology. Amazon has AI. Let me tell you who has AI. So let me give y'all so you'll know. All right. Amazon Alexa, AI. IBM Watson, AI. Microsoft Cortana, AI. Google Home Assistant, AI. Samsung Bixby, AI. That's all artificial intelligence that has... Google the only one that give their artificial intelligence. Oh, and I forgot Apple, of course. Apple started it all. Siri. That's all AI. Artificial intelligence. That's all AI. You need to know this stuff. If you want to have the skills necessary to move forward in the next century, you need to understand, the next decade, not century, next decade. You need to understand how this stuff works. And go to these platforms. They have trainings. Let me tell you something. I talk about this a lot too, and they don't pay me a dime. They need to be paying me. Udemy, right? Or Udemy. It's like tomato, potato, potato. I say Udemy. Some people say Udemy. You can go to Udemy and learn how to take classes in Salesforce. Have you ever heard of Salesforce? Salesforce is one of the most powerful platforms out there in customer service, customer relations, all that kind of stuff. Salesforce, Microsoft, 1099. And you may be thinking, 1099, what am I going to learn? You're going to have hours and hours of content to learn. Trust me, I got a database full of trainings that I need to take. One of them, I think, is like 17 hours. And I forgot what that was. And I think I might have one that's longer than that. But here's what I'm saying. Make yourself marketable. Now, I geeked out when I saw this report about, they found the British researchers have identified 50 new planets using artificial intelligence, making a technology breakthrough in astronomy. Hint, the horoscopes. You know me. I'm a geek, y'all. I'm not apologizing. I'm unapologetically a geek. I love all that stuff. Astronomers and computer scientists from the University of Warwick built a machine learning algorithm. I never could say that right. Algorithm to dig through old NASA data containing thousands of potential planet candidates. They use AI for that. NASA. So what I'm saying to you is the same opportunity to learn is there for you as well. You just have to discipline yourself to sit down, take the time to learn. People tell me all the time, oh, I don't know how to do that. Then learn. If you have the capability to learn, you can learn it. You got to have the discipline, though, because that's where it comes in at. All right, so check this out, y'all. I had to tell y'all this story because a lot of people love McDonald's. I remember when McDonald's first came out with chicken nuggets. I didn't know it was 1983. So chicken nuggets are 40 years old. I had no clue until this morning that chicken nuggets at McDonald's came out in 1983, which would make them 40 years old. McDonald's has been around forever. The chicken nugget been around for 40 years. So how long has McDonald's been around? McDonald's been around about 90. But anyway, for the first time in 40 years, and McDonald's should be paying me for this, McDonald's is coming out with a spicy chicken nugget. Yep, it's going to hit restaurants on September the 16th. I'm sure they're going to have lines around the door for people to taste this. Let me tell you something. I tried the Wendy's spicy chicken nugget. Them nuggets are hot. Yes, they're real spicy. But anyway, McDonald's has a new chicken nugget coming out starting September the 16th. It's going to be a spicy chicken nugget for the first time in 40 years. Yep. And more food. I'm talking about food. I'm so hungry. Every year, it's the fall. Fall is coming right around the corner. So Starbucks has said, you know what? We need to bring back our pumpkin spice coffee. Pumpkin cream, cold brew, and pumpkin spice lattes. They're coming. So if you like them, they're coming. Probably start today. Oh, it started yesterday. So now you can go to Starbucks and get your pumpkin spice latte and your pumpkin cream cold brew and just enjoy and get ready for the fall. I know it seems like fall is like right now because it's been so gloomy and rainy because of all the hurricane action going on out in the Gulf of Mexico. That's why it looks like fall has already gotten here, but it has not. But anyway, you can start feeling like fall if you want to drink a hot latte, pumpkin spice. That's all I'm saying. Get you some spice and nuggets while you're at it. I'm gonna try them. I'm gonna try the nuggets because I do like chicken nuggets. All right, so listen, I'm gonna go to my last song. Then we're gonna come back and give you my word of inspiration for the day. So stay tuned.
I was living in the clouds, yeah, like a million explosions. Whatever happened to the picture, the one where you and I were perfect, like if heaven was a time lapse. Play the story where we'd end up. Would you pause it for a second? Before this thing's over, would you come a little closer? Before this thing is over, would you come a little closer? Never know till it's gone, never know till it's gone, never know till it's gone, never know till it's gone. Darkness and your fears all turn to regrets. How do you stand up without falling? How do you see it as a blessing? As I'm falling through the water, let the ocean be my witness. I believe that this has changed me. I pray it as I'm sinking. This time will be different. Till it's gone, never know till
welcome back, welcome back. So listen, y'all, I got inspiration for you, but before I give you that inspiration, I gotta tell you a quick story because it's gonna help you understand this inspiration, this word of inspiration I'm gonna give you. So, y'all have heard me say that I've been an entrepreneur for 23 years. So I started out, I call it my real business because I invented the first plus size fashion doll back in 1999. I started in business in 97. But I invented that doll in 1999. It was just an idea that came to me while I was working. And at the time, I was working at Verizon in Madison, New Jersey. And I hated that job. Every day I went in there, it was like it was a mess. I hated it. Anyway, I had this idea for this doll. And I started my venture to create this doll. My friend Georgette became my business partner. And we formed our company, Big Beautiful Dolls. That was the company that we formed. We had no idea. She was a doll collector. I didn't know that until I talked about, the invention of this doll. And she showed me the doll that she had just purchased. The doll, she had paid $250 for that doll. And I was like, oh my God, we're going to be rich when we invent these new dolls. Anyway, we did all of that stuff. And I'll tell you the whole story later. But I want to get to this. So I read this book called The Personal Touch by Terry Williams. Terry Williams was a publicist for Eddie Murphy, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson. She was their publicist out of New York. And she had written a book called The Personal Touch. And I bought that book because we didn't have any money when we launched this company. And I read that book from the front to the back. Now, listen, I've been talking about this book since 1999. I'm still talking about it because it was one of the best investments I've ever made when it comes to business because it taught me about PR, which is why I was able to get thousands and thousands, probably $500,000 worth of PR for all my businesses combined over the last 23 years without spending any money except for the $20 I spent on that book, right? And so one of the things I did to get PR for the company, we decided we wanted to do a Big Beautiful Dolls pageant with real women. So we put an ad in this magazine at the time. It was called BBW, which stood for Big Beautiful Women magazine. And hundreds and hundreds of women wanted to be in this pageant. We narrowed it down to 21 women. They came from everywhere. Canada, Nebraska. It was crazy, y'all. It was a great event. My brother and his friend was at the door taking tickets and ticket money. When I tell you we were downtown Newark at the Crystal Ballroom at the Hilton, it was beautiful. When I tell you we didn't have standing, you know how you say, oh, it was only standing room only? There was no standing room. People were outside in the hallways. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. We sold so many tickets, people couldn't even get in to see the event. It was packed. My brother was at the door collecting all the money, he and his friend, Kimball. And my brother's name is Coach Bell. He was at the door. He had a paper bag with all the money. Now me, not understanding what I was really doing, wind up giving most of the money away as prize money. I had to pay the DJ. I had to pay for the Crystal Ballroom. When we walked away out of there, we had hardly any money left. But here's why I want to share the story. No matter what we did to make that a great event, and thousands and thousands of people hundreds of people who came to the event talked about how nice that event was. It was about 2 people who criticized the event. I got a nasty letter in the mail about the event. People were angry because their person didn't win. It wasn't a lot of people. Out of the hundreds that said this was a great event, you boosted my self-esteem, you boosted my confidence. I didn't hear any of that. All I heard was a criticism. And that night, I cried like a baby. Do you hear me? Like a baby. With a packed out house, I cried like a baby because I got criticized. Right? I was new. I was still wet behind the ears in the business world, like for real. And I was in the real world at this time. I was manufacturing a doll in Hong Kong. I had no idea what the heck I was doing, but I was making it happen. That doll was being manufactured in Hong Kong from drawings that I sent to Hong Kong, that I sent to a sculptor who sent me back some clay. I sent the clay to Hong Kong. They sent me back a prototype. It was crazy. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was doing it. Did the pageant. The newspaper came out. We got full coverage about the pageant. It was a newspaper. It did exactly what I wanted to do. Create publicity for the company. It did that. But it also created criticism. It criticized me. It criticized Georgette. And I don't think Georgette took it hard like me. I took it hard. It beat me down. So I shared that story with you to tell you so I can share my words of inspiration with you, because I needed you to understand where I had come from to where I am right now, and this word of inspiration. So, this word of inspiration says, I like criticism. It makes you strong. LeBron James said that. He said, I like criticism. It makes you strong. Let me tell y'all something. I can understand what that now, but back then I got criticized. I was hurt so bad till I shut down from everything. I didn't even want to come out the house. And it was only about 2 or 3 people. And I remember this girl, her name Janine Biggins. She had a company called the Voluptuous Woman. She said to me, she said, Audrey, if you're going to be in this game, baby, you got to grow some tough skin. And I was like, oh, so I still remember that, y'all. That was like 2002, I think. And I still remember that. You have to grow tough skin. But it makes you strong. Like, once you grow the tough skin, it's going to make you strong. Just like LeBron said. But you got to grow that tough skin. Because people are mean all day and every day and twice on Sunday. They mean. You hear me? But once you grow that tough skin and once you don't take things personal. Because I took it personal. I took it as they were really talking about me. And I felt like less than a person after that. I felt hurt. I felt it was painful to me. Like, I internalized pain. That's why I try to stay away from it. So what I'm saying to you is, yeah, criticism is tough sometimes, but it will make you strong. Now, I pretty much don't care what people say. They gonna say what they gonna say anyway. And I try to, I look at that stuff like, okay, whatever. It hurts for a second. I ain't gonna lie. It hurt me for a second, but it doesn't last long. So, with that being said, thank you again for listening. You could be anywhere in the world, but you spent the last hour and 10 minutes with me, and I appreciate and love you for that. If you missed any episode of the show, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com and listen to the past episodes there. Be sure to follow me on Facebook at Good Morning Gwinnett. Follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Gwinnett. Follow me on Twitter at GM Gwinnett. Also, go to Apple Podcasts and give your favorite episodes 5 stars. I wish I could see me. I'm holding up my hands. I hold up my hand every time I say that as if you could really see me. Pretty soon, one day, you will be able to see me. Had I stayed in my studio, I would be live streaming this show via video and audio. You would have been able to see me. That is still coming. Go to Apple Podcasts. Give your favorite episode 5 stars. I need that so I can move up in the ranks on Apple Podcasts. I need your help in doing that. To support the show, go to the show. Click on shop and shop. Buy something. I'm going to be putting up some new designs soon. I'm excited about that. I got some, regular t-shirt designs up there, but I got some new stuff coming. So I'm excited about that. So stay tuned for that as well. Also, if you got a birthday coming up, an anniversary coming up, a graduation coming up, a new birth coming up, an engagement, a wedding, or you just want to talk to me, go over to goodmorninggwinnett.com, type on your story. On that page, on the right-hand side, you're going to see a purple button with a little microphone. Click the button, share your story, and I'll talk about it on the air. All right? So listen, be sure to tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. for more of the horoscopes and for my guest tomorrow. You don't want to miss this guest. He's a great guest, and he's going to help you he's going to share with you how to empower your children, especially now when they're home all day long. This could be a great way to do that. All right? So thanks again for listening. Listen, remember, wear your mask, stay safe out there, use common sense. And next time, y'all, make it a great day. Bye now.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you like this episode, subscribe now and share with your friends. To learn more about Noise Media Network, visit noisemedia.us.